Hi, I'm Stacie.
And I'm Kristi.
If you've ever hit buy on an online course and then watched it sit untouched in your inbox for 6 months or 6 years, you are in the right place. Today, Stacie and I are talking about the course junkie trap. Why artists keep buying courses, why finishing them is a whole other story, and what it might actually mean for your creative business. Let's get into it.
Oh my God. I want to ask you this icebreaker question, but I have to tell you what my answer is. It's literally the first thing that came to my head.
Okay.
Okay. The question is, if your life had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room,
Oh my God.
what would it be?
I have no idea. That's so hard.
The song that came to my mind was All by Myself.
Oh my God. And okay, I don't know. The name of this song is something to do with an elephant, but it's like dun 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 dun.
Oh, yes.
You know,
That's the song.
that's the
Mine is Celine Dion, All by Myself. Like when she really gets into it, you know? Uh,
and
I
mine
don't
is
even
a
like Celine.
nonsense.
Oh,
No lyrics.
oh my God. I love that for us. I love that for us.
Episode 1, season 2. We are back.
We are back, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a really cool lineup of 10 episodes. I'm
Yes.
very excited about it. And as per usual, I would say these episodes come from the heart on the fly.
Yeah. Because like the name of our podcast says, Art After Dark.
Yes, it
We
is
like
Art
slip
After
this
Dark.
in the in
We slip
between.
it in. I will say, I was thinking about the title of our podcast, Art After Dark, and we're recording early in the morning, which technically it is after dark. It's just like a different way of looking at after
Yes,
dark. Art After Dark,
just
early morning
after,
edition. I
just
might
after the
still
dark.
have like sheet prints on my face. Okay, today's episode, season 2, episode 1, and yes, I am looking at notes over here, so that's happening. Course junkies.
Oh man,
Course junk.
I feel like so many people are gonna feel seen with that title alone. They're just
Mhm.
gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm being called out."
Yeah, and you're not alone. You're in the right place because
Oh yeah,
the amount of
definitely.
courses that I have signed up for is a lot. Um, what is the most recent course that you have purchased?
Ooh, this is easy. Well, it was a gift. I got Sandy Hester's still life painting course for Christmas.
I love that. I love that
Yes.
you got that as a gift for Christmas, which reminds me that I need to tell my husband, like, do this.
Yeah. Every year when somebody asks me what I want, I'm always like, I don't know, I don't know. And then I get something that I don't want. And so this year I was like, this is exactly what I want.
I
Here's the
love
link.
that.
Like,
I think that's a great gift idea, actually, because there are at least 4 or 5 classes that I can think of that I would like, but I don't. So those would be a great gift.
yeah.
Have you finished it?
No, not yet. I'm like halfway through it, which
That's
is
good.
not bad because it's only, well, it's the end of March, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's good.
yeah. What
Um,
is the last course that you purchased?
Let me check my bookmarks.
Ooh,
It could be, dare I say it, immersion.
oh,
I think that's the last one that I've purchased as an
that was a while
alumni.
ago, right? That was a
I,
year ago.
oh, then maybe it was a Sandy Hester because I did purchase Sandy's acrylics
Hmm,
and I watched it all in one day,
nice.
like one sitting, binged it. So maybe that is the most recent one. So Sandy Hester for both of us.
So it
Sandy,
turns
if you're
out
watching,
we support you.
we love you.
Yeah,
Thank
we're a
you.
little
Thank you,
obsessed.
Sandy.
Yes.
Do you have a course graveyard?
Oh, absolutely. Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody does. I hope. Yes, my course graveyard is well attended, stocked. Yeah. How about you? I mean, I'm
I
sure
mean,
you must.
yeah, I have like, I definitely have a course graveyard. Um, I'm really good at starting. I suck at the middle,
Mm,
and so then it's hard to finish because I feel like I have to do every single lesson. Like I'm not the kind of person that will usually just like watch things and then go back. I like to try to do the thing as I'm going, and
mm.
then life happens, and so like I can't finish, and then I feel guilty and I don't want to go back. And then if I go back, do I start over? Like it's a whole type A Virgo black and white thinking problem. Um, but like when I hit that purchase button, it's a total high
Oh
for
yeah,
sure. Like I get like that excited feeling.
yeah. And we've talked about this before too. Like when I start a course, if it has a community component, I like jump in there and I'm all excited, and then like very quickly I'm like, oh no, I don't like it in here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I get overwhelmed at the community aspect of it.
totally.
It's like actually, I don't want to say revulsion is like a really hard word because it's nothing personal
No,
about the people in the community. It's just, it's
no,
overwhelming the amount of content in those communities that I'm like,
totally.
I can't touch that.
Yeah,
I can't
same.
touch it. Um, what do you think it is about us artists? And, this probably applies to any field, but because we are artists, what do you think it is about it that we fall into this pattern of purchasing these courses and then either don't see them through, or maybe we do, which is like amazing, but
Hmm.
what do you think it is? Like, why do we?
I think it's a few things. So I think I can have a tendency to think I need to learn more before I can do that thing. Like, so when it came to pitching my work, I was like, no, I need to learn more. I need to like figure out how to do this. I need a system. I can't just start on my own. And so I took a course for that. I mean, looking back, that course taught me a lot. I
Which
probably could have
course?
used,
Do you want to say which course it was?
sure. So this course doesn't exist anymore. So it's not going
Mhm.
to be helpful if you want to pitch. But it was, oh my God, what's her name?
Anna McNabb.
But what was her, she doesn't
Pitch
have
your
that business.
portfolio. Oh,
So, okay,
surface design repeat.
sketch design repeat.
Sketch design repeat.
Okay, so Shannon McNabb's Pitch Your Portfolio course, which no longer exists, or if it does, maybe you can only buy it as like a standalone, like not a live course version. Amazing course. I learned so much. It's probably the best example of a course that I took and implemented and had success with, like,
Mm.
which was kind of empowering in a way. So that's one thing. I think people are just like, I need to learn more. I'm not ready. And so, whether that's like imposter syndrome or just flat out fear, or maybe you really don't know what to do, like, there's also that, right?
Yeah.
But then there's this other thing that I know I do, which is just productive procrastination. It's just like, well, if I take this course, then I feel like I'm moving forward. And so I'm just going to keep taking courses and then I'll keep moving forward. But that doesn't always correlate. Sometimes it's just, I'm filling time and I should just be doing something else.
Yeah, I feel like for me, there's definitely times when I sign up for a course, like especially in the beginning. I think when you're just starting out, it's a lot easier to sign up for these courses and they're extremely meaningful.
Yes.
The first time I signed up for immersion in 2020, I mean, it changed everything for me. Like it did. Like
Yeah.
whatever, I
Same.
know that there's some talk online about Bonnie and her marketing tactics and
Hmm.
promises and things like that. But I will say that when I took that in 2020, which is how we met, you and I. That changed everything because I didn't even know, like, I had an idea of what this could be, but I had no idea how to do it. I have a degree in graphic design, so I knew how to use Illustrator, but not for the purposes of creating patterns. Having, this sort of entrepreneurial module in there about how to start your business and things like that. Like, I found all of that extremely valuable. But at a certain point, when you get this knowledge, you keep taking more courses. And I feel like that's when you need to question, like, do I really need to take another course? Or am I just afraid to start? Or
Mm-hmm.
am I afraid of the rejection? Am I
Mm-hmm.
afraid of being judged? And am I just telling myself I'm taking these courses and I'm, quote, moving forward? It's like you said, this productive procrastination. So I
Yeah,
definitely
because
think there's a
it's
few key courses that change it. After that, you have to start really paying attention to what's going on in your mindset before you
mhm,
sign up for these classes.
absolutely. I have the same story with immersion. That's the course that set everything off for me as well. And I just learned so much from it. If I'm being honest, though, what's really interesting is don't use, I don't make patterns in Illustrator anymore. Like, there's lots of things that I don't do anymore that I learned in immersion that has really surprised me over this, however, 6 years or whatever.
You use to make patterns? Side note,
I use
Photoshop?
Procreate now.
Oh, you use Procreate. Do you
Procreate
use
and Photoshop.
Affinity? Do you use
I
Affinity?
did for a little bit. I used Affinity, but I find it clunky for
Mm.
me. Maybe I just haven't used it enough to be like fully proficient. Um, but yeah, I use Procreate for most of my patterns now, and that's just because my original work is block print, and so when I would take my block print work and turn it into vectors, like it loses, like a lot of the quality. And so,
Yeah, that
which I know
tactile.
I could probably put that back in Illustrator with some kind of weird like vector texture that would be insane. But like,
Kristi, you just need to make your own textures and scan them in and vectorize them and then just use them. It's like a piece of cake. Like in all of your free time after
in
dark.
all my free time. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
No. Okay.
Okay, so what are you like looking for when you sign up for a course?
Usually there is some promise in the course description that I think is going to change my life. I mean,
Yeah,
quite literally,
I make it that big in my head too. Like, this is going to change everything.
I'm going to do this thing and my career is going to go from zero to hero.
Zero to
Um,
hero.
yeah. And I think at this point, um, unless I am learning a brand new skill, I do not need any more courses. And I have to keep reminding myself of that because everything I need is already in a course I've paid for. Just go modules and rewatch a lesson or watch it for the first time and
Mm-hmm.
actually implement it. I get very
Yeah.
caught up in learning and not doing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely a habit of I have the habit of the productive procrastination. Like I just keep thinking
Yeah.
I'm doing something by taking more courses when I would do more by actually implementing what I learned.
I feel like that is the number one thing about courses is if you don't do the implementation piece, and that's actually the hardest part, right? That's the hardest part of anything is like, I think we're all prone to this, right? We just like absorb like sponges. We're just like, I need to learn more and more and more and more. But if you're not implementing any of that, you're not actually moving forward,
Yeah.
which is a bummer, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like the like keystone in everything.
Yeah. Is doing the thing. And that's the hardest thing. And that's, I think that's because, again, it could be imposter syndrome. It could be, you just feel like you're not quite ready. So you have to keep learning more and more and more. But you really only learn by actually doing and
Mm-hmm.
learning from your mistakes. And these courses are, yes, they teach you important things, especially again from the beginning. Like if you're learning something new, like if I'm learning how to make patterns in it, like that's valuable.
Yeah,
Do I need to take another class on how to make patterns in Illustrator? Absolutely not. You know,
yeah,
do I need to take another course on marketing? No, I need to implement what I already know and learn from that. But it's
yeah.
just so hard because it's like it's that feeling of that thrill of the purchase and that feeling of like now it's going to change everything and I'm going to and you're the optimism that you have at the start of something, you're like
Mm-hmm.
on board, you're fully committed, you're going to do it. You get halfway through it or even one module into it and you just, like you lose enthusiasm or life happens and it starts to take away from, you know, why you signed up for it in the first place, and then you have a graveyard of courses.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think there is, like what you said, there is definitely value. If you're at the very beginning of this journey, you're trying to build your art business or whatever, there is you have to kind of reach a certain bar, right? Like you need the basic information
Yeah.
to actually do the work. Um, what I've because we were working on this episode and I was reading through all of the questions that we have for one another and thinking through all the courses that I have. And what I find is interesting, at least for me right now, is my course purchases, my purchase um, process has changed in several ways. But what was most evident when I was thinking through my course graveyard and what I've bought recently is my courses have changed from how to do this very specific thing, like marketing, like that's business related, that's marketing, that's making a pattern, that's pitching your work, all those things that are very concrete. And now my course purchases are all creative. So
Mm.
I've kind of moved into like I'm taking like these painting courses and I have this course that I bought for, creating with acrylic ink and like it's more of an experimentation process for me now than it is like yes, I'm learning information that's concrete, but it's not the same as to me it's not the same anyway. It's not the same
Yeah.
as like learning like if you want to make a pattern that repeats and doesn't have errors, then you need to do these things. This is more like let's play with materials.
Which sounds way more fun,
It
personally.
is way more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think in the beginning, and now I say beginning because I'm like 5 or 6 years into it at this point, everything was all about surface pattern design, getting my business off the ground, marketing. It's like, yes, I know how to do those things. I don't do them. But I don't do them well. Like I really don't. I do feel like if I actually applied myself, maybe I'd be further along.
Mm,
But also like again, time is limited. Um, how do I want to spend my time? I want to balance like the enjoyment of a creative course, like something by Sandy,
mm,
something you might get on Skillshare, like a deep dive on some painting courses on Skillshare. Again, something I've already paid for is a Skillshare
mm-hmm.
membership with
Yeah.
unlimited courses. What can I find in something like that that I don't have to seek and buy outside? Something I've
Yeah.
already paid for. So
Yeah.
like, if you're considering purchasing a course, you know, are there free ways that you can learn this information as well? Probably. Now, granted, some of the benefits of having a course is that it's all everything in one place. You trust this person. It's the community aspect that you can't get if you're watching 50 different YouTube videos. There are things to consider, but also there's a lot of information out there for
Yeah.
free that
Yeah.
is definitely worth a Google search or, dare I say, a Claude request. Um, so yeah, it's just sort of interesting. It's just trying to balance, when is the right time to buy a course and when am I really just procrastinating? And, money times are tough right now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So being much more conscious of how you're spending your money and making sure that it's definitely something you're going to do and not something you're just telling yourself this when you already have what you need,
Yeah.
either inside or available for free or for something you've already paid for.
Yeah. I think that Skillshare is the best value for money.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if you have limited funds, just get a skill. I mean, Skillshare is what, like $100 a month, or not a month,
A
a
year.
year, a
Yeah.
year. That is
$10 a month.
$10 a month. Get a Skillshare membership. Exhaust all course possibilities within Skillshare before you go out and buy that $1,000 plus signature course that somebody is peddling,
Yes.
because you can get so much information from Skillshare.
Yeah.
You really
I,
can. Like
I
that's
also, yeah.
my that's my new way of like dealing with when I have, so this is like the tool I would say to people, like if you are feeling like you really want to buy a course and you're getting pulled in because these sales pages that these people are making are tailored to create a feeling inside of you that makes you feel like you're missing out, like you can't do the thing without their course, and like you have to spend that money.
Yeah.
It that's what they're doing. It is completely a psychological game that they're playing with you. And so what I've started doing is if I see a course that looks interesting to me, I say, interesting. I'm going to go into Skillshare and I'm going to see who else is teaching about this. Sometimes it's the same exact teacher who is creating like a mini version of that course as kind of a teaser inside of
Yes.
Skillshare.
It's like a
And so
funnel to get people.
it is a funnel, but hey, I will enter your funnel for some with something I've already paid for. See what I like, see if I like it, see if I want to learn more, and I will take a few other people's versions of that same course, because that's the other beauty about Skillshare is you might think, like, say you wanted to create a course for Skillshare. I want to create a course about painting gouache. I don't. You do maybe.
I might,
But
yeah.
yeah, and you might think there's a million courses on Skillshare about how to paint with gouache. And there are a lot, but there's not a course that you made. And there are people who are going to resonate with you more than with someone else. And so that's
Mhm.
the other thing I love about Skillshare is you can go through and learn from lots of different teachers. And there's some teachers that you are going to love. And there's some teachers that you're going to be like, it was just
Yeah.
okay. And that's
Yeah.
fine because everybody likes to learn from a different person. And so it's just like a filter that I've been using
Mhm.
to like, okay, I kind of want this thing. I'm going to like go over here and see what there is. And then maybe I'll come back over here, but maybe not. Like maybe I'm good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, those sales pages that go on and on and on and on, and the testimonial one after the other. And I don't know about you, but when I'm reading those pages, it creates a physical response in my
Yes.
body. Like I get like elevated heart rate, like my breathing starts accelerating, um, because I start feeling like I'm not enough and I must sign up for this course. I must do it right away. And then
Yeah.
there's also this scarcity mindset where it's like, if I don't do it now, it's going to be $500 more next year, which
Mhm.
will be.
Yeah.
Um, but like, it is very easy to get like wrapped up in that. But this idea of using something like Skillshare, and I don't, other than like YouTube, I don't know what even compares to Skillshare in terms of value for the money. Like obviously YouTube is
Yeah.
free. I mean, unless you're paying
Yeah.
for the version with no ads,
Yeah.
but like Skillshare for 100, $120 a year. And there are some killer teachers on Skillshare.
Yeah.
Killer. And I mean, I was just actually watching a class last night on acrylic painting, and I was like, is she really giving us this information right now? Like, this is insane. Like, this is something that people would pay for. I have paid for this information, and here it is. I'm already paid for,
Yeah.
So this is not a paid. Also, by the
Yeah.
way, Skillshare,
We're not
this is
sponsored by
not,
Skillshare.
we're not sponsored by Skillshare. However, Skillshare, if you would like to sponsor us, we will 100% support you because
Oh yeah.
I signed up for Skillshare. I became a Skillshare member in 2019 when I was spending those, no, 2018 when I was spending those 3 months in Paris
Yeah.
because I was like, I need something to kind of watch or whatever. I signed up for it then. I still get charged in euros because when I signed up originally, it's in euros. I've tried to change it. It wasn't. I mean, so I've been a Skillshare member now for 8 years.
Yeah.
Worth every
Same.
penny. Worth every
Yeah.
penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even question it when that renewal comes in. I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And there's
Same. That is
sometimes,
one of,
well, yeah, I'll go like 6 months where I don't use it. And then I'll just sort of dip in, I'll search for a topic, and then I'm back. I'm like, I'm watching
mhm.
these courses and I'm doing the work. I'm not just watching them passively. I'm actually like getting my sketchbook out or I'm turning on my computer and I'm following along. Like, especially I know there are areas where I need help, like Photoshop and acrylic painting or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
hands down, Skillshare all the way.
Yeah. Same.
And it's also, like we did talk about how sometimes these teachers on Skillshare dip their toe into a project and then they have a bigger offering outside of Skillshare. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is also a way for you to get to know this person and understand how they teach. And if it's something that you're interested in, then you can look at taking their longer format courses. Like you're saying, like if you see $1,000 course, look for that person on Skillshare and see if you can find what they're
Yeah.
offering there first.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I found Bonnie was I took
Mm,
her Skillshare. She had, I don't know if she still does. She had like several like how to make a pattern classes on Skillshare, which she was clearly figuring out how to teach because it wasn't long
mhm.
afterwards that her big course became a thing. Um,
Yeah.
and I signed up to take her course because I had taken her other courses and I felt, like I felt like I liked her teaching style. I liked the way she laid things out and the way she explained things. It like worked for my learning style. And so
Yeah.
you can do that with other teachers as well.
Yeah. Skillshare all the way. Okay. There's no real easy way to pivot. So we're just going to ask this question. So we did talk about like using Google and YouTube and things like that to try to find these skills that you can learn without paying for these big courses. But this idea of like trusting yourself and that you have the knowledge already instead of needing to buy this extra course and feel like you're not good enough. What does that actually look like for you in trying to build this business in the margins as we are? So, like,
Mm-hmm.
what does it mean to trust yourself, I guess,
Mm.
instead of buying a course?
I think from the first thing that comes to mind is you have to have trust in your ability to fail and keep going. I feel like that is the lesson I've had to learn again and again and again these, 6 years is, and luckily, like, I'm not the kind of person who, I mean, I'm, of course, there is fear of failure in me, but I am very good at managing the stakes in a way that makes it so that I can fail with like a net,
Mhm.
like, and because, both of us are in this situation where we're building this on the side. So for me, a huge failure, it's not financially catastrophic in the same way that it could be for someone else. Um, but I think that that mentality of like being okay with a failure, and failure can be enormous or can be tiny, whatever you decide failure is for you. But being willing to fail and then keep going has been like the thing that has like, I feel like, kept my business growing year over year. And dealing with that discomfort, dealing with, you know, the feelings that failure brings up in you, but also being able to turn that into like, well, if I hadn't had all those failures, I wouldn't have learned all these lessons. Um,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have like progressed in the way that I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's
It
hard
is.
to it's hard to know when to let go and trust yourself. But the more I think you do it, the more you learn that you can trust yourself
Exactly.
and that you don't need these courses. And that's not to say that you shouldn't, you can still like stay up to date on what courses are being offered. You can bookmark things for the future. But trusting yourself enough to get out of the cycle of constantly learning, learning loop when you need to be doing,
Yeah.
and trust that even if it's a failure, and it is a reframing of this mindset, right? Like, and this is like, I mean, this is really hard as a recovering perfectionist, um, to accept that everything, like, what if it's not even considered a failure? Like, what if it's just a
Yeah.
lesson? Like, oh, that didn't
Yeah.
work. Okay, let's try this. Like, it's easy to say. I know it's not
Yes.
easy to do because I struggle with it myself, but
Yeah.
it is sort of reframing this idea of failure. And I'm not the kind of, well, I can't say I'm not the kind of person who takes risks. I don't like risk. I'm very risk averse, but I have taken some big risks in my life. You do that, then you really learn how to trust yourself and know that
Yeah.
it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay. If any of our listeners or viewers, hi, um, are sitting on some unfinished courses right now,
Mm.
you've got them in your graveyard. They're not finished. What is the one thing you would tell them to do this week?
Ooh, one thing.
One thing.
I think I would tell people so to look through what's there and see, is there is there a through line between all the courses that you're purchasing? Like, and that might help you figure out, maybe you have a big goal that you haven't completely defined, but like your purchasing patterns will like make it clear what you actually want. And that could be like, you bought a course on making patterns, you bought a course on pitching your work, you bought a course on marketing. Okay, clearly your big goal is to create work and get it out there into the world, which is what most of our, probably a lot of our goals are.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just like, use your courses to like help remind you what you want. And then the action step after you look at that, then look at the course and think about which one do you want to start, or do you want to like dip back into this week. And that can be, you do one module, you do one lesson, like whatever it is, just dip back into what you have to remind yourself of that goal and to make sure it's still your goal. Like,
Yeah.
maybe your goal changed and maybe you
Yeah.
like open that course up and you're like, oh no, I hate this, I don't want to do this. And
I hate that.
that's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah, because goals can change over time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think my advice, I love the idea of like auditing what you've already purchased and
Mm-hmm.
identifying what is the through line, to help kind of clarify what it is you're trying to accomplish. I think mine would be, just pick one, and can you do one module this week? Like, can you just do one module this week? And maybe that module has 25 lessons. Okay, that's a
Right.
lot.
That's a lot.
Okay. There's 7 days in a week. Maybe you
Hmm.
spend 30 minutes a day getting through that module. You just make some progress and pick the one
Yes.
that sounds most interesting, not the one you should do, but
Oh,
pick the
yeah.
one that you want to do.
Yes. Follow your excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. Let that be your guide.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add?
Um, just that it's like what we come back to every almost in every episode, and it's that you are not alone in this. We have all fallen prey to purchasing things that we have not followed through on. And sometimes those lessons are really hard because they feel like financially big. Um, and it can be like really disappointing, right? You can put a lot
Mhm.
of stock into this course, making this huge change for you. And whether you implement it or not, the course might not do that.
Yeah.
You just don't know. But we've all been there. And I think for me, the biggest takeaway is now when I am thinking about buying a course, I am a pretty quick action taker generally. Like if I want something, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't do that with courses anymore. I see a course that I am interested in, and I'm the person who, they send you like a million emails. They're like, the cart, the window is closing. You have 4 hours to go. And I'm the person now that like I will wait until the very last minute. And what's happened to me recently, which has been kind of great, is I will forget. I will forget to go back in, or I won't check my email soon enough. And they'll send that like 1 hour to go email. And I don't check it until 4 hours later, and it's gone.
Oh, wow. Wasn't meant
And
to be.
it's exactly, it wasn't meant to be. It was actually the
Look
best thing that could have happened. And so,
at all that
yeah,
money you just saved.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, yes, you're not alone. And also, just don't beat yourself up if you've
Mm,
purchased courses and you haven't finished them. I mean,
yeah.
goodness knows that's like a lot of us in this camp have done that. So just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, find a module in there that sounds fun to you, do it or don't do it. But just also be more mindful moving forward and check it before you purchase something like, do I really genuinely need this? Or am I trying to fill some sort of lack purchasing this course?
Yeah. Yeah.
Note to self. Note to self.
Well, please tell us in the comments, are you a course junkie like the two of us? um, I hesitate to even say, like, if you have a course that you love, you could tell us about it, but maybe don't. Like, don't
I
tempt us.
know. We don't want to
Um,
necessarily encourage uh, overspending
hmm.
unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to have their own opinion, right, about what courses change their lives. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really want to encourage this kind of overconsumption of courses at this point. But like,
Yeah.
we would love to hear if you are a course junkie, raise your hand so
Yeah.
that we know we're not alone and other people know that they're not alone.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, thank you guys for being here. This is a big two.
Yep.
Much more to follow. We have a whole 10 episodes planned, so
Yeah.
stick around.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for listening to Art After Dark. If you connected with today's episode, we'd love for you to subscribe and share it with a friend who's on their own creative quest. And if you want to follow along with our work, you'll find all the links in the show notes. Until next time, keep creating, and we'll see you after dark.
What sport would you compete in if you were in the Olympics?
Oh my God. Sports that exist currently in the Olympics or sports I could
Pick
make
any
up?
sport. You can make it up.
What sport? They're so hard. Um, I feel like it's like also how would I win at this thing,
You
right? If
have
I
to
want to,
win.
well, I assume I'm choosing something where I have an unfair advantage, right? So
Mm.
maybe that's just me like being competitive. But I'm like, what can I do that other people can't do? And so then I'm like, well, like competitive tear mending, like, which would be so boring to
Oh
watch.
my God.
It'd just
I
be like
mean,
me staring at tiny things and tearing tiny repair papers.
is it more boring than curling? I mean, I don't
No,
know. Curling
curling
is
is
apparently very
riveting.
dramatic. Okay.
Curling is riveting. Are you
All
kidding me?
right. All right.
I don't even know how you would commentate competitive tear mending.
Well,
It'd
it'd
be so
have to be
boring.
like in a really soft voice.
Obviously.
It would have to be, I'm imagining like the Mighty Wind movie or the Best in Show. Like
Oh
it'd
my
have to,
God.
you need to take it very seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But have somebody who's asking like really awful questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, it's not an Olympic sport, but I feel like I would want to do some sort of like cheerleading dancing. What is
Okay.
it called when you're in high school? Is it called song or something like that, where you're doing like the cheerleading to music?
Oh, we called that drill team
Okay, something like that.
or dance team. I don't know. One of those.
Sure. I feel like that's what I'd want to do.
I mean, that's a lot more fun than competitive tear mending.
Yeah. And I don't think I'd be very good at it, but in my mind, I'd be very good at it. But actually,
Yeah.
I don't think I would be. So
Nice.
that's that would be my Olympic sport.
Now I'm just going to be thinking about like, bring it on,
Yeah.
Stacie. Like,
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, that was fun.
all right.
All right.